Welcome back everyone to Sublime Science HQ with me, Atomic Alex, and it's challenge 6 today. And we were asking today, our question of the day is, when was the last time you used chalk? Struggling? That's okay. We're going to be bringing back chalk today by learning how to make your very own slimy ice chalk. So again, this is just with a bunch of stuff that you've got lying around home, really easy one. It's a bit of a messy one though, we'll forewarn you. Just heads up, remember we've got the competition running throughout these 8 weeks, whereby you can get involved by submitting your own versions of any one of these experiments. Just remember to include hashtag THFOnline2020 because it's all in association with the Tim Henman Foundation Online. You do some great work, and again we've got a link to their page posted along with this video with that hashtag. So if you do post a video, you could be in the chance to win your very own free science party. Okay, so totally free, your own science party, including all the slime making, sweet making, smoke bubbles, smoke rings, all of the really fun things that we jam pack into that hour. If you do miss out on that, don't worry. We've got 10 runners-up prizes in the form of a home science lab kit. So if you get your hands on one of those, so that'll include both of our experiment books, so you can do loads more home experiments. A lab coat so you can look stylish as you're going with those, and then a few things just to get you going. So for today's experiment, as I say, slimy ice chalk. So what do you need? First up, main ingredient, corn flour. Okay, so have a rummage in there with your parents' permission, have a look in the food cupboards. You of course want some ice, so an ice cube tray is going to be key. A spoon, a nice sturdy metal spoon is ideal. Some food colouring, okay, we're going to talk about why that's important in a minute. And just a couple of glasses or containers. We've actually got a nice sciencey beak, so if you've got some of those, all the better. And aside from that, just the tea towel just to clear up, okay? It could be a little bit of a mess, like I say. So, first thing, to make your slimy ice chalk. We need to make our mixture first. So you want about half fill. You want to half fill the container of water that you've got. Also just enough water to actually fill up all of the ice cubes that you've got. You might want to make a whole batch of these, okay, so you could do a couple of rounds. But for that first one, I'd say just half fill your container, and you then just need to add your corn flour. I'm actually going to add this to a separate one first of all. So you want about half fill the container with corn flour. I'm going to use up everything I've got left here. So hopefully, okay, so I've got about a quarter of this beaker. With the water you just poured them, you need to add the quantity that is kind of right for that amount of water you've got. So you just need to add your water really slowly and just stir as you go. So your spoon at the ready. A little bit of water to start with. And what you'll see straight away is that corn flour just absorbs that water. It's going to stay, pretty thick. It's going to stay pretty powdery for a while. But we want to make sure here that we don't make it too liquidy, too fluid. So add the water nice and slowly, as I say. Keep on mixing. Stir that in really well. You might find that a teaspoon is better for this at this stage, or a fork perhaps. And you'll see that as you just mix in that water, it gets steadily gloopier. Okay, it gets thicker and thicker, more viscous. So when I say it's more viscous, I literally just mean it's more gloopy. Okay, it's more of a thicker kind of substance, a bit more like honey. And I think that's actually just about the stage that you want it to be at. Actually, you might just want a tiny bit more water there because it's still a little bit gloopy. As soon as it gets to that stage where it's all liquid and you can move the spoon through it fairly easily, that's the stage you want it to be, okay, and it's nice and ready. You might find though, when you try to move it through quickly, it's a bit tougher, okay? So that's actually the fluid acting in a really interesting way, okay, that we're going to talk about a bit more later on. So, as I say, that's a nice liquid though, you can stir it nice and easily when I go slowly, so that's all ready. You then just need to pour that into some of your ice cube tray. So spin to one side. So this obviously is it could get a bit messy, so be careful. Do you get a mess, then hey, it's all good. All in the name of science. So you're just going to fill up at least a few of your ice cube pods in the tray, as many as you can with the amount of fluid that you've got. Do be careful just to only fill those individual pods about half full, just to allow for some expansion when we freeze these, because that's going to be the very last step, okay? But before you get to that, they're a bit boring for the moment, aren't they? We need to make them a bit more interesting. So that's where your food colouring comes in. So I've got a whole range of food colours here. We've got some Smurf Snot Blue, some Troll Slobber, Snot Green, and Dragon Blood, red yellow, some Unicorn Poop, amazing, and a little bit of Pixie Dust. So that's dissolved in there. So 5 different colours. So you can then get stuck in. If you do have any pipettes lying around, then even better. But if not, then just add, tip some food colouring onto a little teaspoon, and then just, carefully pour that into the individual pods instead. But as I say, if you do have a pipette, then excellent. So I'm going to start off with a blue. Shuffle these up for you. And you can vary up the shades here, so you get a few different colours just out of the one food colouring. You can have a really dark one, so add quite a lot of blue to that one, and maybe just one single drop to that one, and I'll let those dissipate throughout the cornflour water mixture. Let's go on to a different colour. Let's have some unicorn. So this is a purple, by the way. Let's have a couple of those. Light one there. Next up, green, classic green. We love green here. Couple of those. And a little bit of that. And I think last up, actually no, not quite. 2 more to go. Dragon Blood. Took us a while to get this. What's that there? 1 drop. And just to finish off, some dissolved pixie dust. So you guys can get creative, mix up your own colours perhaps. Here's a fresh one. Okay, now at this point, it's just a bit of a waiting game. So as I just mentioned, you do then need to pop these in the freezer, okay? Do make sure just before you do that all of those colours have nicely dispersed throughout your cornflour water mixture. That one just needs a little bit of a stir, so you can use like a lollipop stick or the end of your teaspoon, just give it a bit of a mix. So you've got a nice uniform colour all throughout. For each of them, all the rest are good there. So that is ready for me to put in a freezer. So you want to freeze these overnight, okay? Make sure they're nice and solid before you take them out and have a play with them. I'm going to put those over there. But I'm not going to let you guys wait. Here's a batch that I made earlier. So, your slimy ice chalk. So at this point, you're going to grab yourself a bit of paper. I've already popped these, okay? Just be careful when you do pop them out of the ice cube tray. They could be, stuck there pretty well. And if any has spilt over the top, then you might actually find that they've actually frozen together slightly and the colours might have mixed. But that bit's okay. Just makes them all the more interesting when you actually go to use them. So once you've popped them out, I'm going to start with a green one. This is where it gets really messy. You might want to have gloves, but this will wash off really easily anyway. At this point, you can get creative, So no worries, you don't have any chalk lying around. This is a great substitute. So I'm going to use a few of these here, see which one's working best. Let's go for blue one to finish off. And so add in a final bit of green just at the end there. So, have a go at this at home, guys. Let us know how well yours goes. Come with your own little message. Or drawing, whatever. You can do whatever you like with these. Your own little colours. And stay awesome. So remember, when you add your version of these videos, make sure you add the hashtag THFOnline2020. And we look forward to seeing those results. But what science is going on here? How is this actually taking place? Now, when we mix together the water with the corn flour, we actually produce something called a non-Newtonian fluid. Okay, it wasn't really a liquid anymore. It wasn't really a solid. When you mix it really slowly, it does feel like a liquid. You can move the spoon through the mixture quite easily. As soon as you start mixing faster, you get a bit more resistance and it behaves a bit more like a solid. But it's still not exactly a liquid or a solid. Like I say, this is actually a non-Newtonian fluid. So it does a bit of both. And when we mix those things together and freeze it, we actually turn it into a proper solid because you made it so cold that the ice freezes below its freezing point of 0 degrees Celsius. And as I say, turns it into a proper solid so we can actually use it such that it behaves a bit like chalk. It's that cool flour that gives it a bit of substance so you can actually write with it or draw with it or do whatever you like. So, like I say, get stuck in, get creative, and we look forward to checking out your results. And I will see you in the future for challenge number 7. Well done, scientists. Stay awesome.